might say, well, you're doing all this yapping, all this talking, as if you're perfect, as if you're not guilty of any of these things that you're speaking about. Who do you think you are? Nobody. I didn't say that. I'm very guilty of some of the same things that I'm speaking about. But I'm working on me. Every day. I'm working on me. Are you working on you? A lot of times, like on the news, different things happen, or there may be, forget all about that. We feel like people we see in disadvantaged positions in life, we look at them and we may see them talking about how hard it is and how they can't get ahead, and the decisions that they made in the past is affecting them adversely. And we say, well, that's of their own doing. That's their problem. It doesn't affect me. You got to pay for your mistakes, which obviously there's truth to that. They're paying for their mistakes. But let me give you some reality on whether or not that affects you. See, people deserve second chances. First of all, everybody makes mistakes. And you've made them, just like I've made them. We end up making different mistakes. Some of them affect us in more of a serious way than others. And sometimes that's got to do with what we're going through at the time that we make those mistakes. Sometimes we start off in a situation where we're likely to make mistakes that people who start off in a different situation wouldn't make. But we all make mistakes. We all do dumb things when we're young, when we're less mature. So don't be one of those people who act like the person that's suffering from the decisions that they've made has never made bad decisions themselves. You just might have gotten lucky or had support or someone with better judgment to either help you to navigate from the consequences of that decision or to help you get out of the consequences of that decision. Either way, what happened as a result of your decision ended up not crippling you. So don't put yourself on a pedestal. It does affect you how people are treated, directly or indirectly. Directly is obvious. Let's talk about indirectly. When a person in their youth, let's say, and I know they get older and do the same dumb thing, but it might go back to what I'm about to say. When a person is in their youth and they might make decisions like selling drugs, stealing cars, whatever, they got a criminal record. 16, 17, 18, 20, it could have been with some of them parents that I was speaking of earlier, which makes them more likely to make those dumb decisions. At any rate, and they could have had perfect parents and still made those decisions. At any rate, when a person makes mistakes and they're young and they're not given a second chance, when they get back out, suppose they stay locked up 10 years. 10 years is a long time to mature. 10 years is a long time to meet other people, to hear other stories. 10 years is a long time to become aware. 10 years is a long time to learn. 10 years is a long time to reflect. 2 years can be. The point is, it is possible for people to change. For you, number one, if a person, let's say an employer, looks at these people and shakes their head and says, no way, Jose, that was stupid, you was wrong, you made a mistake, and you got to pay for it. When a person looks at someone that way and refuses to give them a second chance, saying that they're qualified other than that history on their record. But you are a person that automatically refuses to give someone a second chance because of mistakes they've made in their past. Suppose everyone has the same attitude. That person is left with it. The person still got to eat. The person may have a family and still got to provide for their family. What do you think the person's going to do? So Don't you think that would increase the likelihood of that person continuing to commit crimes? Increase. You gotta eat. Suppose that person has on their record, suppose that person was locked up for assault or robbery. Was locked up for robbery. Well, the next person that may get robbed by the person you feel doesn't deserve a second chance might just be you, because no one else will give them a chance either. As crime rate maintains in your city, and then you're harassed by police doing checks. You see, everything is connected. It all does matter. The way you treat other people, the way you look at life, the way you interact, the participation you have, the involvement you have, all of it matters. You understand where I'm coming from? So being self-serving, being greedy, being self-centered, now or later, it all comes back to you. There is a void in the understanding of life. You see what I'm saying? Step back, take a look at the big picture, and you'll see that it is in everyone's best interest to become involved when common sense would say that you should step up and become involved. You say, well, it's so hard to become involved. It's so stressful sometimes to become involved when we see things going on that shouldn't be going on. How do I get the strength to do it? How do I stay going down a path that makes me compelled to become involved, that would influence me to participate when it's so much easier not to participate? Well, how do you think? I'll tell you how I'm able to even address the situation, even as I am guilty of the same things that I'm speaking about, which is the same tool that you can use to help you move forward in a positive direction and address issues that you know you need to address. One is by maintaining a relationship with someone who already is of the same mindset in which I speak. Prior to hearing this message, it may have been easier to put that person off and keep them at a distance, because you don't want to end up having guilt from not having the same level of positivity as that person. Well, don't do that. You know, you need to get around that person. You need to allow yourself to be exposed to that person in your life as much as you can. Now, all of us don't have that type of person in our circle. And if that's the case, what you do is force yourself to be exposed to environments in which those type of people may exist. Go to your library. Go do some volunteering. See, all of us has good in our heart. But again, it's very hard to let that good shine sometimes when everything around us is lacking of that good. I mean, because the saying is true, nice